So, Alex, it's bloody nearly 2021.
Yes, it is bloody nearly 2021.
God, where's this year gone? I've had so much fun and done so much stuff this year. Wow, it's been just exciting, and it completely hasn't been a waste of a year where no one's done anything and life's been terrible.
I agree.
Yes, so welcome everyone to On the Spotcast and our New Year special. I'm going to leave up to Mr. Ward here. Should I run the normal intro, or would you like another Christmas intro?
Christmas intro.
Yeah, because the Christmas one was well received. So there we go then. Here's a Christmas intro. So yes, welcome back one and all to On the Spotcast number something. Last week was our Christmas special, and this week is our New Year's special, hopefully going up on New Year's Eve. That is the plan. We are recording it on the 30th of December, so giving me time to edit and things. So yes, today's episode is going to be a big old look back at the year from everything that's happened in games, in our lives, in the world. I've gone through every month of the bloody year and written down lots of information. I've got 7 pages of planning here. 7 pages. So yeah.
Jesus, I have no pages.
Well, that's not a surprise, is it? So yes, plenty of news.
The channel's called Winging It. I'm winging it.
Well, yeah, but you can't wing, history, can you? You need to know what happened.
Watch me.
You can only wing the future and the present. You cannot wing the past.
Fair enough.
That was very philosophical, wasn't it? Actually, that could be my channel tagline. You cannot wing the past, but you can wing the future. And it has a picture of me looking off into the distance in a very inspirational sort of black and white screen. That'd be good. So yes, I will fair warn that this podcast, some of the things I might bring up from the months may, possibly remind people of other sad times, but please take it as us recapping and not just trying to make people sad or making fun of anything, because we're not. We're just recapping what's happened in the year. So it's not, that's all. That's just wanted to put that little disclaimer in. And yeah, so how has this year been for you, Alex?
Honestly, like my past few years have been, I've just been sitting on my ass doing nothing productive.
So not really much different then.
No.
Although, except this year, you couldn't do anything if you really actually wanted to, but even though you didn't want to anyway.
Yeah.
So this time...
Yeah, even if I wanted to do anything, I couldn't.
So the last few years, you've made the choice not to, but this year the choice is made for you.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, but have you had a nice year?
Well, I haven't had COVID, so, that is a big plus.
Me neither. I mean, as far as we know, of course, we may have secretly, been asymptomatic. So, we could have, but as far as we both know, we are healthy buggers. Very, very healthy. Just not, in other ways.
Very, very healthy.
Very, very, very healthy. So, anyway, without further ado, I think we should get into these months. Obviously, beginning with January, because that is the first month in the year.
Really? I did not know that.
What are your memories of January, Mr. Ward? Pre-COVID times.
Jesus.
Pre-COVID times.
Jesus, I have no idea.
I remember after Isabel had finished visiting for Christmas, I remember going back to work and working as normal, and just life was normal. No masks, no arrows.
Just life was normal.
Yeah, So I've gone back, and I'm really interested to see how much of this you can actually remember. Did you happen to remember that there was some Australian bushfires at the beginning of the year?
God, I don't remember that at all.
Exactly. Australia was on fire for about a month, and half the not rainforest, after all their the bush burnt away. And there was a massive
Yeah,
tragedy.
I remember all the.
And everyone
I remember about the Amazon burning, but I don't remember the bushfires.
Everyone in January thought, "Oh my God, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen this year." How wrong they were. How wrong they were. And I remember also what happened is being at work and hearing about this little-known place in China called Wuhan, which became very well known after that. And after hearing a little-known virus there, and everyone thinking,
yeah,
it will never come this far. We just carry on as normal. Also, other stuff that happened. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. I forgot that happened in January.
Oh God, yeah, God, that feels so long ago.
And Brexit finally happened into the what's the period called that we're in now? I've forgotten it completely. Transition, that's the word.
Yeah, transition.
So yeah, Brexit finally happened. So that's all that happened in January. That's quite a lot when you think back to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, I forgot that the Australian bushfires completely even happened.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about Kobe Bryant.
So a lot's happened. I mean, there was nothing notable of game notes in January, unfortunately. But that was obviously January is normally quite a quiet time for games. Really, it's not really it's the post-Christmas boom. Nothing much going on. So we'll move on to February because a few more happened. What do you remember about February, my dear Ward?
Absolutely nothing. This year to me just feels like it was the same sort of day over and over and over and over and over for much of it.
Probably was though, wasn't it, really, for you?
Well, surely it's for you and lots of other people as well.
Well, true. I reckon a lot of people had the same year this year. Although there was some awkward periods of silence there where your voice just completely dropped out from nowhere. So,
really?
Yeah, no, it just went silent for like 5 seconds and then you just appeared. I don't know why. And never mind. So, I'm going to surprise you even more now with more February facts, my dear Ward.
Okay, give us.
Here is something that you may not have heard. PAX East, the well-known gaming festival, gaming convention, was held in Boston back in February this year. And that's kind of weird to think after, back then there was actually a game event going on with people in attendance, which is strange to think. Only 10 months ago this was actually happening. But PAX East was probably the last really game event to actually happen with people. Also, what happened in February? Well, good news for Australia because all the fires got put out by about a month of rain that they hadn't had for like 3-year droughts. So all of a sudden Australia went from fire to flood. So cancelled each other out with that one. Once again, still no notable game news or really any releases in February this year, which is odd because you normally do get something in February. Normally you'd expect something, don't you think?
What, something that happened in February?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, February's just sort of weird, but like February's sort of the weird in between January and then the big spring, thing that always comes about March, April. February's like the forgotten month, most probably because it's the shortest.
Well, it's a leap year this year, don't forget.
Oh God.
There you go. So
yeah, it was.
It was 29.
Jesus, I totally forgot about that.
There was 29 days in February this year, which is even more different. So it's been a 1 year long. Technically, that's why this year feels even longer. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 day longer this year so far. We should have been on New Year's Eve by now. See what I mean? It's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
So what else happened in February? Well, coronavirus got its official name from the World Health Organization.
Yep.
And many people are confused.
You got to love the World Health Organization. They always, they always have positive. They're always spreading them positive vibes.
Yep. And more positive vibes. Harvey Weinstein got convicted of rape in February, which is more world news.
Jesus, that was this year too. My God.
And
I'm sorry, but pre-COVID feels so long ago.
I know, that's why we're recapping the year, because I wanted to bring the
podcast.
The podcast.
It's kind of mad.
The podcast today, I mean, I in my mind, I feel like this year has a lot's happened on, but I want to remind people of actually everything that has happened this year and remind them that actually real life wasn't, or normal, you know, day-to-day life wasn't actually that long ago. And a lot more has happened this year.
It just feels it.
Yeah, I just want to remind people that, you know, there's a lot's happened this year, and, you know, sometimes it's good to be able to, it gives you a good perspective on life to see everything that's happened. And doesn't make you feel like, you know, your life is, you know, the centre of everything, and actually there's a lot going on in the world. And also, to end, it was mine and Isabel's 2-year anniversary in February.
Oh,
so I had to end with something nice, because, you know, we had rape and death, so... Anyway, moving on to March then. Well, for March, we finally have some game releases. Can you guess what game releases they were?
I want to say one of them was Last of Us Part 2.
You'd be wrong. It was originally going to come out in March, but it didn't. The games that got released in March were...
What the hell was that?
What the hell was what?
The hell was that?
What are you on about?
You started all crackling.
No, I haven't done anything. I'm still here. That must be the aliens trying to hack on the Spotcast again. Damn.
No. It's because this podcast has corona.
All right, so the podcast itself now, as a concept, has started to get a bad throat.
Yeah.
All right, I see. Okay, fair enough. Well, the games that came out back in March this year, something you may have obviously not realised, is COD Warzone released in March, which became obviously quite a phenomenon.
Wait, didn't it release? Wait, are you on about? Didn't it come out alongside Modern Warfare, and then that was the standalone release in March?
Yeah, the standalone.
Or did it just come out?
Well, kind of like a standalone release, but it was obviously, the standalone, the free sort of release came out in March. But more importantly, Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered released in March.
Was that March? I thought it was slightly later.
No, it was March.
Huh.
It was back in March, because this all come from the official game Wikipedia page of releases throughout the year. It was in March. Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. I can't tell you when in March it was, but it was in March. Also, we saw the release of, I've included another game here just to please other people. Persona 5 Royal was the other big release in March. There was obviously, in all of these months, there's obviously been loads and loads of smaller indie games released. Obviously, I can't list everything for those who are just thinking that I don't know about them. I do know about them, but yeah, there would have been a lot to talk about. So yeah, that's those are the games that came out in March. But do you remember what else happened in March, my dear Ward? Well, the world began locking down. Dun, dun,
that was the start of the big lockdown.
Yep, including here, we entered our 3-month lockdown. Isabel turned 21 years old. Happy birthday to her.
21.
I went off work for 3 months while the world went down. COVID.
Pretty much everyone who worked went off work for that time.
COVID was declared an official worldwide pandemic.
Yep.
Breonna Taylor was a victim of police brutality. And Max von Sydow died.
Max von Sydow.
Is it Sydow? I would say Sydow. I want to say Sydow. Is it Sydow?
It's Max von Sydow. As far as I know, it's Max von Sydow.
Ask Isabel, because he is Swedish.
Max von Sydow.
He was Swedish, so ask Isabel what she would say. But I don't really know. I mean, I don't know where you've seen him in, but the only thing I actually know him from is from Skyrim, where he played the voice of Esbern in Skyrim, and he had a very good voice. And very strange to hear that he died so long ago. So April.
He's been in a lot of stuff. It's just barely. I think the only thing I've seen him in the Russell Crowe Robin Hood film, and he appears in the first 10 minutes of The Force Awakens.
I know he was in. Because he was that guy at the beginning that get
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that part now. And he was also in things like Game of Thrones, I think, as well, and stuff like that.
Well, even Ed Sheeran was in Game of Thrones at some point.
Yeah, true. So yes, April. We have some more game releases, and it's a big month for both of us because, as you may guess, it contains both of our birth dates. What are your memories of April, Alex?
playing. What did I get for my birthday? Shit, playing Gears of War 5, playing Gears 5, and absolutely loving it. Being completely like blown away more than I was prepared for by its story. And then Jedi Fallen Order, being happy that there's a good. Finally, after how long did I say? 8 years, we finally got a proper good Jedi-focused Star Wars game after 2 mediocre Battlefronts and a bunch of like phone crap that no one cares about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, yes. Games that came out in April this year, there's 2 notable ones. One's a slight repeat. One is the fact that Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered came out for Xbox and Windows in April after a month delay from the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, you got it like a month early, didn't you? Maybe that's what. I think that's what confused. I think that's probably what confused me.
Yes,
because you PlayStation 1's got it earlier.
The other notable release in April was the Final Fantasy VII Remake, is the only other very big release in April. Also, April was the beginning of On the Spotcast again. This very podcast began once again in long-distance Bluetooth speaker format and consistently.
Is that when we started doing it, being able to do it once every single week, and we kept that going for months?
We did it once every week for months. We're very consistent. We're now getting back. That's our New Year's resolution. We're now doing, because we're now done 2 weeks of consistency here, so we're getting there again. We had a bit of a Christmas holiday, so to speak, and the world went back to work and things got busy, for me anyway, at least. So yeah, On the Spotcast began long distance. Also, what happened in April is COVID cases passed 1 million worldwide, which seems like a small number now.
Yeah.
We also had Queen Lizzie herself addressing the UK regarding COVID, which is apparently only the 6th time she's done that in history, aside from Christmas. Interesting fact. Also, China. In China, coronavirus ended and their life went back to normal and has been pretty much ever since. Strangely enough. It was my birthday, and shortly after, it was Alex's birthday as well. And an interesting quote from Boris Johnson here, who says he reckons now, back in April, the UK is past its peak of coronavirus.
Well, we had, because the last big sort of peak was around our birthdays.
I know, but
I don't know if there's some hidden subliminal message there, but
see, that's the thing is that again, it peaked high again in October, didn't it? It went higher than that now. Now the one that we're on now, this peak is now higher than it was back in April. So really,
I knew it was like bad because the New Mutant strain.
It's like worse than it was back in April. It's like worse than it. So pretty much right now we're like a mountain range. Really, we go up and then down and up and then down. It's like a whole series of mountains. So yeah, interesting quote to read that one. But yeah, April was an interesting month, spending a birthday in lockdown, and I can't remember what I got for my birthday. I don't think very much. I think I just got some money or something.
You probably just got some money.
I already buy the games that I want using the money I get from working, so there you go. So May then, what do you remember about May?
No, living under lockdown.
Yeah, we're 2 months into lockdown by that point, and everyone's starting to get a little bit nutty. The lockdown is kind of starting to settle in now that it's kind of a reality, isn't it, at that point?
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because there was some gaming stuff that happened. Can you remember what big mess of a game was released in May? And I say big mess because that's a good clue for you.
Because it was big, what? Because it was really, what? Because it was all bugged out and whatnot?
Yep, completely.
Oh my god.
You're going to kick yourself when you hear it.
I probably will, because right now, like you say, which game came out this year that was a total technical mess? The only one that comes to mind is Cyberpunk, and I know it wasn't that.
Cyberpunk wasn't as bad as this was, in my opinion. Yeah. And it was...
Oh god.
You want me to tell you?
Go on then.
It was Mafia 2 Remastered.
Oh god, the whole remastered trilogy. Well, the first one was a remake, but the whole remastered trilogy.
Yeah.
You and that final trophy.
Yep. That whole glitch trophy that everyone spent like a month waiting to get the platinum with. Yeah. Mafia 2 Remastered released. Mafia 3 definitive edition came alongside it. Mafia 1 didn't come out until a couple months later, though, so we'll get to that. So yeah, that released in true Broken style. Golf with Your Friends got a console release after coming out about 5 years before on PC. And that's a number. Nice little story. Bandai Namco celebrates Pac-Man's 40th birthday. Oh,
Happy
lovely.
birthday to him.
We're a bit late
Happy
now.
birthday to him. Happy birthday, Pac-Man. Happy birthday to him.
Hip hip hooray. There we go.
Hip hooray.
So, in news worldwide, though, and I wonder how much of this you might remember, because this is actually quite a big story of the year, this one. First, we'll start out with COVID, having reached 3.65 million cases. UK becomes the worst affected COVID country in the entirety of Europe.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sounds familiar. And also, something else happened over in America that started something quite big. Can you remember what that might be?
Was it No, I was going to say, was it the sort of start of the election, but I don't think it was.
No, that was in like November.
Yeah.
It was George Floyd being a victim of police brutality.
God. I was waiting for you to. Waiting for George Floyd to come up.
Yeah, it was
because that is one thing I do remember was this year.
And
I
it
just
was
don't remember when.
yes, and the Black Lives Matter movement kicks off, and
yes,
so
hasn't stopped.
that was what happened in May, So yes, that was something that I don't think anyone's forgotten about, but certainly something that feels like a long time ago now.
I'm guessing you've actually seen like the video that was taken of the cops doing that.
I've seen clips. I've seen like clips from it that were like on, shown on, the news and things like that. I haven't watched the whole thing per se. But
like that cop, he even looked at the dude filming him. Like that cop just did not care, did he?
Welcome to America.
It's hilarious in a totally disgusting way how little that cop he just did not care. He just did not care at all.
No,
and it's just crazy. Did he really not think that especially as he actually saw someone was filming, did he genuinely think that nothing bad was going to come of that?
Well, there you go.
None of the other cops tried to stop him as well.
It's just America, isn't it, really?
God, America.
America. Well, let's move on to something more positive, shall we? And let's go on to June. Now, June for gaming was a big month. It was a big, big month. We'd had games that had been delayed because of COVID. We'd had all kinds of things going on. But finally, we saw the release of Last of Us Part 2 in June. It finally released.
Everyone loved that, didn't they? Hey? Oh.
Well, to be honest, now it's only them people that, being stupid about it. Now, I mean, it's overwhelmingly positive now, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, once the controversy sort of... the weird thing is, I've spoken to people that have a problem with the story and, the narrative choices and that, and if you ask about any other part of the game, they're like, the voice acting and the acting and the visuals and the gameplay and all the things and that. That's all amazing. I just don't like the story, and for that reason, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. You have this game, Grant. I will admit, I always like a game more if it has a really good story. I'd probably put Halo 3 ahead of Halo 4 in terms of gameplay, but Halo 4 is my favorite Halo game because of its story. I'm always someone that will always go for the one with the better story because I like good stories and good storytelling in games. But if you've got a game that is just at the absolute peak in all these other areas, surely you not liking the story choices isn't enough for you to put it way down to a 1? Because from a technical perspective, Last of Us 2, from an outsider looking in, is at least a 7 or 8. If you're just going in from a technical perspective, I'd say a 7, and you don't like the story, I'd say a 7 and an 8, because you don't have to like the story to enjoy the gameplay, to marvel at the acting, to marvel at the writing, because even a bad story can have some good writing in it. It's,
well, I love the story anyway. I mean, speaking aside from that,
I'm just saying how some people they hate one aspect of the game and they hate the entire game because of it. That's
because that's part of the toxic video game community that turn into crying babies whenever they get something that they don't want. Really, isn't it? Oh no! this developer made a game, but they should make it in my way because their way is stupid. Idiots.
As one who, as you know, fought for the Snyder Cut for years and years and years, I'm very much an advocate for, one's getting, they should get the right, artistic integrity. They should have the right to tell the story they want to tell, how they want to tell it, whether, no matter how many people hate it and that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, other game releases then that happened in June. Another one that I played this one. We had SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Remastered, the biggest title of the damn year. And I need to breathe after saying that because it's bloody big.
That is quite the name.
And something else that happened in June, which you may have forgotten about, was the massive Sony conference where they unveiled the PS5 design. Also, the upcoming games that are coming with it. So the PS5...
Oh, shit! I just forgot. I just remembered something that happened in May that you forgot to bring up.
Well, tell me.
Snyder Cut. Well, Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Snyder Cut was announced.
I told you had to cover things from your perspective as well. I can't get everything that happened in a year. So yes, apart from that, Sony finally unveiled the PS5 and everything that went along with it. So we finally got to see what it looked like, and I still think it looks awesome. Also, all the other games that are coming out beside it got announced. Things like Horizon, plenty of others too.
Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, all those got announced too and revealed a little bit. Teased.
God of War.
Yeah,
there was a new God of War alongside it, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, there's a new God of War. It's called,
thought there was, because I've seen ones on my subscriptions playing God of War PS5, and I didn't know if I remembered them announcing a new God of War releasing alongside PS5 or not.
When you see that, it's not out yet, but that's people playing the original games on PS5.
Version, spruced up.
It's either people playing God of War PS4 on PS5 or people playing the original God of War trilogy on PS5 now.
It's the latest one because it's like it's
the latest one isn't out. It's called like Ragnarok or something, isn't it? It's not out yet. It's not even close to being. All we've had is that one tiny 8-second trailer or something. That's all we've had. That's all there is. No, it's not out yet. So yeah, anything you see that says God of War PS5 is people clickbaiting you into watching them play God of War PS4 on a PS5.
Yeah.
So yes, Sony unveiled that. What else happened in the news? Well, it was the 50th anniversary of the first Gay Pride March in New York. Interesting news. And we also had
I did not know that.
COVID deaths past 500,000 worldwide. And the BLM movement takes over the world, and Donald Trump decides to just attack it consistently in tweets the entire time.
Well, that's Donald Trump, isn't it?
Pretty much. So July, let's move on to July. More games, more games. Now, I've put a few in here. Some for me, one for Bruno. I included one for Bruno in here as well, just because of what you said in the last podcast. So, first we had Death Stranding release, which was the very highly anticipated Hideo Kojima game.
That was this year? Damn.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I thought it was older than that. So I remember seeing that because like a YouTuber I watched did like a big 7-hour long video on it, and I watched the whole thing. Well, that was this year?
That's what it said. Let me double check that, because it does sound a bit off to me now you've said that.
Yeah, I swear it was like... Yeah, man.
Actually, no, I think it is wrong, because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it a year before. Yeah,
I think it got released on PC this year, but I swear it came out...
Yes, no, it was released on 8th of November last year. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know why...
hang on.
I don't know why...
I'm on its...
Why is
I'm on its wiki page. It got released on PC this July.
Oh,
That's
so Wikipedia's getting it wrong then, bastards. Bastards.
No, it's trying to confuse you. It didn't get it wrong. It was just trying to confuse
us, right. Well, back to a game I know that did get released in July, and that was Ghost of Fushima came out in July. A game that proved a big hit among myself and among many others. Many
I think that was kind of a surprise hit, because I think loads of ones were like, I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Well, it was definitely...
And then it just came out, and everyone was like, oh my god.
It was definitely highly anticipated from what they'd shown so far. But yeah, So yeah, another
I
thing.
hadn't seen any of the stuff before it came out.
Another thing, and the one that I've included for Bruno, because you mentioned that he liked this last week, and that is Crisis Remastered.
Yep.
So you said
and it was bugged to hell until they released a patch a few months ago.
And I'm pretty sure you said
on Xbox, but PlayStation hadn't got it yet.
You said Bruno was a Crisis fan, didn't you?
Yeah, he loves Crisis.
So there you go. I've included that one for you.
He got me into the because he kept saying when. He kept telling me about Crisis, and I said, when they become backwards compatible, I will play them. And when they became backwards compatible, I bought them and played them, and I thought it was brilliant.
Fair enough.
I keep telling you to play the first one.
I'll think about it. Anyway, moving on.
You should if you get on it, because it's only like 20 quid or that as it is, but if you get on sale, then go for it. You get a good, it's a good 10 to 12 hour long campaign there. No multiplayer, but still.
Fair enough. Well, the last game that came out of note in July was the Destroy All Humans remake that I very much enjoyed as well.
That came and went, weirdly. Those ones were hyped for them, and then it just sort of came out.
There was many games this year that kind of came out in a very quick release. Like, one day they just suddenly appeared. And
like Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. We knew about that, as far from what I remember. We only knew about it the day before it came out.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of this year.
Like, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, it's out tomorrow.
That's kind of ended now, that kind of weird summertime, really. I think it's because they were all just trying to bank on the fact everyone was at home.
Yeah.
So,
that's why Warzone, that's like one of the reasons why Warzone was so massive, because everyone, and it was free to play as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, what else happened in July? Well, it was a pretty quiet month for world news for a change, and the only real thing of note that happened was the fact the world finally began to start to open up a bit again, and we came out of lockdown.
Just a bit.
Finally. But otherwise...
Wasn't that also the start of the big heat wave we had this summer, or was that August?
Well, I mean, yes and no, really. A bit of a mixture. I can't really remember. It was quite hot in August, wasn't it? Very hot in August.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Very goddamn hot. Well, talking about August, and we have quite a few little games here. Something that was very interesting is that we've actually had a gaming event happen in August. Would you be surprised to hear that Gamescom happened in August?
I honestly wouldn't remember if it did. Because those are ones kind of like the E3 is the big one everyone looks forward to, and then Gamescom's kind of the second.
Well, Gamescom.
We didn't have did we have an E3 this year?
No.
Kind of.
No, we didn't.
Can't remember.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Ubisoft did its own kind of conferences, didn't it? And everyone else did their own sort of thing.
Ubisoft Forward, yeah.
But yes. So, yeah, we had a Gamescom this year, but the twist little being is that it was entirely digital. So there was a digital Gamescom this year from Germany.
Yeah.
We also had games released. We had the very popular game that I haven't played, and I know you haven't played either, Fall Guys, that came out and sort of dominated YouTube childish gamers for ages. Kind of like Fortnite. We also had Horizon Zero Dawn that released for PC in August.
Yeah.
And Samurai Jack Battle Through Time was another notable release that I played, came out, which was a fun game as well. In the news...
I didn't know there was a new Samurai Jack game.
Yeah, that was like August. Come on, get with their times, Ward. Jesus. So, anyway, in news...
is it obvious I only really pay attention to the games I care about? Like, the first Ubisoft Connect, I watched the whole thing, and it was just for the Valhalla stuff, which is you right at the end.
You only play...
On the Far Cry 6 announcement trailer.
You only pay attention to the things you actually care about in general in life. I find sometimes.
Yeah, kind of.
So yes. Anyway, in the news, we've got a few funny stories in this one. We've got the UK.
That was funny.
UK lockdown ends finally. A funny story.
Temporarily.
You're aware of the millionaire Elon Musk, aren't you, Ward?
Yep. I know he.
Well, he has some funny stories this month. In August this year, billionaire Elon Musk confirms that pyramids weren't built by aliens.
I thought there was always just kind of, apart from conspiracy theorists nuts, I thought everyone kind of knew that they were No, they weren't built by aliens. They were built by us with help with guidance and that from the ESU. Everyone knows that it was the ESU.
So yes, he confirmed that. Cardi B reveals her wet ass pussy to the world.
Oh God! Have you actually listened to the song and watched the video for it?
I haven't watched the video. I've heard extracts of the song, so to speak. Well, moving on. COVID cases surpassed 20 million worldwide. Hurricane Laura hits the US. Chadwick.
God, there's a hurricane in it.
Yep. Chadwick Boseman dies from cancer.
Yeah, rest in peace. Wakanda forever.
And finally, Elon Musk again here unveils a pig. Oh, what are you going to say?
I was going to say again.
Again, yeah, he's in his final thing here. Elon Musk unveils a pig that he has named Gertrude that has a computer in its brain.
What? This is an actual pig that you get like bacon and that from. It's an actual pig.
Yeah, no, he's got an actual pig called Gertrude. It's got a small computer chip inside its brain.
Huh. Fair enough, I guess.
There you go.
I mean,
if you're a billionaire, you can do these kind of things. That's what you say. So moving on anyway to September. We're starting to get into the autumnal times now. The Christmas build-up. All the games are starting to be announced. All these things.
Yeah.
And the games that got released in September was first Marvel's Avengers, which came and left.
Man, that game. We don't talk about that game.
Mafia 1's remake releases. We also had Nintendo celebrating Mario's 35th birthday, so happy birthday to Mario. We also had PAX East again in digital form, and we had the Tokyo Game Show in digital form back in September as well. So yes, that was all the news. Yeah. Nothing too much going on in September, thankfully, which makes a difference. We're going to quickly move straight on to October, where we had some more games. Now, do you remember what games released in October? This was only 2 months ago now, so you know your excuse for having COVID for a year is starting to run thin now.
I know Valhalla and Cold War were November. I don't know what else came out.
Well, I'll tell you. Firstly, we had Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, came out in October. Yeah. We had Watch Dogs Legion release in October.
Oh, God, I forgot about Legion.
And we had Super Mario 35 release in October
which
as well.
Is Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. Yeah, that's the three, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. Otherwise, in world news, Trump tests positive for COVID. Unfortunately, he survived. UK.
Yeah, he went into hospital for like a day. And then just sort of came out like, I'm immune. Whereas Boris got it, and he was on the friggin' defibrillator for like 2-3 weeks.
Yes, and unfortunately, he survived as well. Anyway,
wow.
Anyway,
how dare you, traitor, heretic.
The UK introduces a COVID tier system instead of lockdowns.
Yep.
And the US election begins. And then, to end October, the UK goes back into another lockdown.
Yeah, which we're still kind of in.
And then,
no, we are still technically in it.
No, it ended in December. Jesus, it
ended for like 5 days.
No, then the tier system changed, and then we went into the tier. The world's not in lockdown. In tier 2 areas, life is normal. Well, normal-ish. And then to top off,
because where we are, we're currently in tier 4, which is basically lockdown.
Yep, and to top off October, Sean Connery died.
Yeah, the original James Bond.
Yeah, and
Indiana Jones' dad.
Junior,
and
other such lovely quotes. Now November. Now Alex, if you can't remember what came out in November, this is going to be bad for you. Because this is not good.
Valhalla and Cold War and Cyberpunk. No. Fuck, Cyberpunk this month. God!
Oh dear, he's not doing well
Damn
there, is he?
Cyberpunk!
Something
God damn you, Cyberpunk! All your different dates.
Something we've learned this year is that Alex is now suffering from amnesia.
Yeah.
And has managed to forget everything.
It's just been this weird year where just one day sort of goes, the days come and go, and it's very much the same as the previous days. You know, as you do.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of the days. But yes. Yeah. So anyway, as you said.
Plus, I've been going to bed later recently, so you know.
He's a big boy now.
Yeah, I'm lack of sleep. Well, there's barely a night go past where I don't end up going to bed at like 12:30.
Whoa, hold on, slow down here a second, whoa. We're gonna get a bit. Whoa.
Yeah, that's an exclusive.
Whoa. I nearly blew
Alex Alexios Ward now goes to bed at grown-up time.
If I was wearing socks, they would have just got blown off.
Why aren't you wearing socks? And don't say because they got blown off.
Because I haven't put any on my feet.
You lazy bitch.
Well, I'm wearing other clothes. I just haven't bothered to wear any socks. My feet
are
fine.
See.
My feet are breathing. They're having an air day. It will help prevent against fungal infections.
Nice.
So yes,
stay classy.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out in November alongside.
And it completely saved the franchise.
Alongside Black Ops Cold War. Another massive release that you've forgotten about was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Well, to be fair, that's a PlayStation exclusive, so you can kind of forgive me.
I can try.
Loads of think that's better than Spider-Man PS4. I've definitely heard it actually tries harder with its story. Which ain't hard, because Spider-Man PS4 is the most generic Spider-Man story you could possibly, make, but still.
Moving in, anyway, to the November news, we have Joe Biden wins the US election, shortly followed by...
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, shortly followed by Trump enters a temper tantrum.
Again.
Yeah. COVID cases...
I was framed! It's fake! And of course all his brainwashed supporters still believe him. I don't know when they're going to just be like, okay, he's lost.
Yeah, well, when Joe Biden becomes president in like a month.
Oh, no, this is America, Ben. They don't think like us normal folks.
True.
Us Brits, us Italians, us Swedes, us Tunisians, all of them, they all think normal, they do, but the Americans, they don't.
Fair enough. So, COVID cases surpassed...
I love how when I go off on a tangent, you just at the end are like, fair enough.
Well, I just see the time as 42 minutes, so I'm just bringing it round into a structure.
I'm contributing. Anyway, okay, go.
So COVID cases surpass 50 million worldwide. Yep. Another big number. Scotland becomes the first country to make feminine period products free for women to have.
Oh, that's good to know. Yes, as a male that doesn't live in Scotland, I am glad about that.
It was about time. Period. Don't want to rain on their parade. What else happened in November? Well, Maradona died, and that was about it. And then we move on to our current month of December, which hopefully Alex can remember what happened in this month, because it's only been a few weeks. Cyberpunk 2077 released.
Came out and was like the biggest game in disappointment since Last of Us 2, except Last of Us 2 had a subjectively bad story, where Cyberpunk is pretty objectively one of the most broken games released this side of Fallout 76 and Assassin's Creed Unity.
But it's fine now. It's fine now, isn't it?
Well, I actually ain't heard, apart from you saying that the last update pretty much fixed it, I haven't heard yay or nay about Cyberpunk.
There's been another update since I platinumed it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, even more coming out next year. So yeah, that happened. We had the Game of the Year awards, in which case Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year.
Yep, I think Valhalla won Best RPG, or several outlets gave it Best RPG.
Something that really annoyed people is the actor who played Abby in Last of Us Part 2. I can't remember her name. She won Best Actress or something. voice actress.
It's Laura Bailey,
oh,
isn't
yes,
it? I think it's Laura
yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, which really
who was Mary Jane in Spider-Man PS4 and that. She deserves it though, because she's a really, really good voice actor.
Yeah,
she's a really good voice actor.
I really enjoyed Abby as a character in general, so yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What else happened in the news? Well, Ellen Page becomes Elliot Page. Trump is still...
No, you can't say that. You have to say Elliot Page finally came out. Because, I once said Ellen Page is now Elliot Page, and I got a bit of flack from a certain person we won't name for reasons.
Well, she's not going to be fucking listening, is she? God. Right.
True, actually.
Elliot Page is now Elliot Page, but apparently always was Elliot Page.
There we go. You got it right.
Better? Right. Donald Trump is still in denial and claiming everything is fake.
Of course he is. He will always be. His last words will be,
also, Twitter has now officially started to put the warning on all of his tweets saying that the information may be inaccurate or not true. Which is quite funny to read.
Twitter lying? No way!
They're not lying, are they? They're telling the truth. It's him that's lying and then coming out saying, oh, 200,000 of these votes weren't real, and then you get a little thing underneath from Twitter going, the information in this tweet may be inaccurate or not proven. So a lot of it's quite good comedy timing, I find. So the UK comes back out of lockdown, and there's a new stricter UK tier introduced. The UK COVID...
Tier 4!
Yes, Tier 4. The UK COVID...
Tier 4!
The UK COVID vaccine begins. Tom Cruise...
Oh, 2 or 3 of them.
Tom Cruise gets mad again.
Yep. For good reasons, because he was telling everyone to follow social distancing guidelines while filming Mission Impossible.
If a little bit over the top, though.
Yeah.
Just slightly. And then, of course, we had Christmas, which even you must remember that one, Alex.
Yep.
So yes,
I got some bad. Did I show you my Christmas gifts?
No.
I can't remember.
Well, you can tell everyone now, can't you?
Well, I got Valhalla, kind of predictable. Modern Warfare 2019 at long last, and I've literally spent the last 4 or 5 days downloading the 78 gigabytes worth of updates. I hope Cold War is half as big as this, and I know you can uninstall chunks of Modern Warfare, and I probably will uninstall the multiplayer, and once I've got the one achievement associated with it, Spec Ops. I also, ages ago, because it was on, I was getting it anyway, but as it was on sale, I got it ages ago, the Crysis Remaster, and I got all Mass Effect Trilogy DLC for half price. Annoyingly, it happened to be a few months later they'd announced the Remastered Trilogy, which is out this coming March, but whatever, it's my favourite trilogy in gaming. I'll happily do a 100% full run of my normal versions this Christmas. Next Christmas, do the same with the remaster. I also got the latest seasons of Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl, which I needed, which is Arrow Season 7, Flash Season 5, and the full seasons of Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, and the Valhalla novel. That's the stuff I knew about. Now the stuff I didn't know about. I got a bunch of badges and Assassin's Creed Odyssey badges and pins.
Oh, I thought you said badges.
Badges.
It's like
I also got Assassin's Creed Origins duvet cover and pillowcase.
Oh, ladies, this is what you're going to see now.
There's just one thing though. I'm not going to use them because I think they look too nice to wear. Too nice to wear. Too nice to use.
You wear your duvet covers, do you?
Well, you just
climb inside it, do you?
This is a new world order. This is the post-COVID world order. Hang loose.
So there you go,
and
ladies.
The final thing I got was because 8 months ago I found have you heard of a site called EMP, which does exclusive game merch and that?
No, I thought it was an electromagnetic pulse.
No, that's a different kind of EMP.
Right,
that was the pre-COVID EMP. This is the post-COVID EMP.
So, hold on, so you're saying now that the COVID has destroyed electromagnetic pulse weapons?
Knowing COVID, it probably is capable of that.
Fair enough. Carry on.
As the final thing, on ages ago, I found this really nice Assassin's Creed watch, and that was the final thing I got for Christmas, and I had no idea about that. And that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was all my Christmas haul.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Well, I mean, I would say what I got for Christmas. Money.
You got money? Yeah, money.
It, really. And my PS5. Oh wait, no, not yet. Still trying.
I've been salt into the wound there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, I got money. Really, that was about it.
We didn't mention the launches of the. You didn't mention the launches of the Series X and PS5 in November.
Did I not? I had it written down. Did I skip past it?
I don't think so. I think you totally went past it, yeah.
No, I had it written down. It must have been when you were in one of your tangents.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I was just trying to move on as quickly as possible. So, yes, that recaps 2020. Let's hope that 2021 is distinctly better.
Let's hope that all those laws that are apparently coming in to stop PS5 and Series X scalpers will actually work.
Yes, absolutely. So let's end by also on a serious note, just saying, thank you to everyone who has, done all their stuff this year, to the carers like Isabel and the nurses and doctors and all the frontline people, the teachers, all that, who have continued to keep things going during these tough times. And yeah, just on a serious note, so thank you to those. And thank you to everyone who has listened to the podcast this year. God knows why you bothered, but you're here, so thank you.
What else do they have to do in COVID? Go outside, meet people?
No, everyone and their sister created a podcast as soon as we went into lockdown. It was like year of the podcast.
I do know live streaming became much bigger and more prominent on YouTube, because the YouTube watch who does movie news,
it's like
since March or that, he's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, he's done like a live stream, and that he's probably gone all out on the live streams since lockdown, and he doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon, which is good.
Well, fair enough. So yes, anyway, thank you all to those who have listened. Thank you to all those who are working, like I said, the carers and all, throughout the year.
All them key workers.
Yeah. Thank you also just to anyone who supported the channel and got us all the way over 360 subscribers now. Quite an increase over the year. I'm glad to see it, and I will continue to make the content that you guys enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy this podcast just as much. So yes, that's it for this year, and we'll see you next week for another podcast, I believe.
Yep.
So yes,
maybe, who knows?
It's Happy New Year from me,
and it's Happy New Year from me.
So yes, goodbye everyone, and anything you want to say to harass Tunisia at all? Or...
Hello, Jonium!
There we go.
Happy New Year, Jonium! Well, early Happy New Year. I'll probably say Happy New Year nearer the time when it is actually Happy New Year. But yeah, Happy New Year.
Well, make sure you get the time. Make sure you get the time difference right. Yeah.
Yeah, she always does that, because she's like an hour ahead. So she'll say Happy New Year, and I'll be like, it's not New Year.
Well, I'm used to that. I'm used to that as well, because Isabel's an hour ahead as well, isn't she? So
Yeah.
But anyway, goodbye, folks. See you next year.
It's Bruno's 2 hours ahead, isn't it? Because I thought it was Isabel's 2 hours ahead.
No, Isabel is 1 hour ahead. Italy is also 1 hour ahead.
Oh, I thought one of them was 2 hours ahead. I'm getting it confused with someone else.
Yeah, no, Italy is they're only pretty much most of that area of Europe is pretty much only an hour ahead of us. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening, folks, and we will see you next year. Ta-ta for now.
I have expected you. Greetings. Do you know why I live here? Yes, I have been pondering on exactly that question. All in good time. First, a question for you. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. What will you burn? What will you spare? Yes. Few could resist such a challenge. You once told me you did not believe in destiny. Do you You have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of fate? Yes. Do not be afraid. Fulfill your destiny. Few could resist such a challenge. Why do you delay? What else would you seek? Go then. Fare thee well. Do not be afraid. Remember well. Power, you have it. But power is inert without action and choice.